Heidi ho everyone, my name's Mr. Fruit and welcome back to more Story Time with Mr. Fruit. That's right, gather right. You guys don't realize, you guys do not realize how many times I have to edit things like that out because it's just so frequently a trip over my own words. It's very easy to do, but that's not why we're here today. No, nay. 9. Today, we're here to talk about my first kiss. I remember seeing somebody in the last story time request it, and I was like, sure, you know, I think I have an interesting first kiss story. Who really knows? Be interested to hear what your guys's were down in the comments below, or if you haven't had one yet, don't worry, it'll come, unless you don't want it. Cooties hurt gross, am I right? Stop. Don't touch me there. This is my no-no square. So it was... When was it? Oh, yeah. The summer between 7th and 8th grade, or beginning of 8th grade, somewhere around there. So I was the age of an 8th grader, like 13, maybe? I don't know, I guess the age doesn't matter that much. But I was dating this girl, who we shall name Agnes. I was dating Agnes. Dating, as it kind of is in middle school and whatnot. We'd been on and off. And I remember I was sitting home one day, probably playing Halo or something. No idea, it was a Friday night. And she texts me. Maybe she calls me. Well, I know. Back then, if you're talking on the phone, you're in, dude. You're in. And she was like, hey, I know it's short notice. There's this movie some of my friends and I are going to in like 10 minutes. And want to know if you wanted to come. We have an extra ticket. And I was like, I wasn't really ready for this. Friday night, again, like I'm probably in the basement in my pajamas playing Halo 3. Then she calls me and she's like, movie in like 10 minutes. I'm like, Mom, because this is my favorite part about dating before you can drive. Mom, can you drive me to the movies? Why? I said, grill. So my mother agrees, and she's like, "Oh, you little rascal, you gonna get into death, my boy? Death, my boy." Okay, not really. She wasn't really like that, but she was asking questions, of course, as parents should do. And I was like, I don't really know. I don't even know the movie. She just said to show up. I'm panicking. I'm hyperventilating. Can we please do this? Because, I didn't want to miss this opportunity. Seeing a movie with my lady. So I get to the movie theater. And seriously, like, the movie was, I think trailers were already in. Like, I did not have time. I got there, and that was it. But she left, so she come to the front to give me my ticket. And then I go with her, and it's kind of like, again, this is early stages. And it's like, hey... hug kind of thing, but like kind of hover handing, you know what I'm saying? Like you just don't, you're not comfortable. Listen, and nobody is at that age, all right? So don't blame me, and I don't judge anybody else at that age. Okay, everybody's awkward. The law of nature states at the tween age, you shall be awkward. Amen. So I was plenty awkward, don't worry about that. And I think this was when I had my Bieber hair. Good times. Anyway, get there. Awkward hug. Boom. Let's walk into the theater. So we're walking into the theater, making some short conversation. Not much. I was like, oh, what movie we're going to see? Because I had no idea. It was Bride Wars. Still the only time I've seen that movie, I think. I don't really remember much of it. And probably for reasons not what you're thinking. So... we start going in, and then she's like, yeah, so, like, just a few of my friends are here, but, like, our seat's in the middle, so we're fine. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, like, maybe 2-3 friends. I knew some of her girlfriends, so I was like, oh, okay, yeah, probably, I know. We walk into that theater, and, when you're walking down the hall, the wall that comes down, because that's where all the seats are, right? So you can't see up. And you turn that corner to look at the seats, that moment? I'm like, all right, where are we? A whole row of girls. A few friends? Literally. I'm not... from one end to the other. It felt like it never ended. It was like... so many girls. And they're all like... they're middle school girls. What do you expect? And they're all looking at us. They're guys... and then Agnes is all like embarrassed. I was like... come on, let's go do the thing. And here's the kicker. So they invite me here, and there's so many of them, I don't actually have a seat. I have to share the seat with Agnes. Point being, I couldn't even fit like half a cheek, if you get where I'm talking. So we had to split the seat in this middle of the row. There were other seats, but, you know, for some reason we just had to sit in between the sea of middle school girls. I don't understand. Couldn't understand their murmurs, their looks, their stares. What do they want? What kind of information? Are they warning me? Are they trying to tell me something? Are they judging me? Probably the latter. So we're sitting there, and it kind of gets to the point where, like, I almost get half a cheek on, and then she has the whole seat. So she is sitting on the left side of the chair, but then also kind of on top of me. It wasn't the most comfortable, I'll be honest, but at that ripe age, I would have sacrificed a virgin goat if I had to. I don't, a virgin goat's rare. I don't really know. I don't even have one. I would have went out and found a virgin goat and spilled blood just to be able to be that close to her warm body. Sounded really weird. Point being, I'm a middle school boy. Here's this girl kind of sitting on me. Got real sweaty, let's be honest. But I was like, you can't really talk. It's a movie. You know how that works. And we're just squished by all these girls. And, like, you're trying to, like, heads this way looking at the screen, but, like, you know, peripheral vision with my limited amount because of my glasses and my peripheral vision. You just see, like, they're not watching the movie. They're watching us. So as if there wasn't enough pressure, I'm like, let's watch the movie. And yeah, so I didn't really understand much of the movie because I'm sitting there and my eyes might be on the screen, but I'm so thinking, like, what is this? What are they? Who? Oh, just super anxious the entire time. Just thinking about all those middle school girls makes me anxious now. If right now you're like, hey, go that way, and there's a group of middle school teenage girls you can go watch a movie with, or just have to walk by, or go fall in that death spike trap, I'd go walk in the death spike trap. Wouldn't you? So the movie starts, the credits, whatever, the publisher, all that thing starts going, and I get a text message, and I wasn't going to look at it because that seems impolite, right? But then Agnes over here, like right over there, is like kind of like elbowing me, like, look at your phone. And I was like, oh, okay. So I pull out my phone. Hold on. I had, what was it? I don't even remember what it's called. But it wasn't a flip phone. It was one where you like slide it up and then it shows the keyboard. I was kind of cool. So yeah, look at it. And it says, and this is from Agnes, and it says, do you want to hold hands? I'm like, So I look over and I put my hand out and she puts hers, and then our hands come together in one beautiful matrimony. And they lay there clasped for what felt like way too long. Let me tell you, all right? Because most people don't talk about this, or you won't realize it. Your hands are gonna get sweaty. They're gonna get clammy. And there was for various reasons, but like, especially first few times you're holding hands with somebody, it's gonna get a little moist, okay? And it did. Not to mention the fact it was hot. Theater was hot. Whole row of middle school girls. I have Agnes on top of me. I have half a chair. Half my butt is hanging off. And we're holding hands. So listen, there's a lot of heat in one small area. So, got a little uncomfortable. But do you think for 1 second that I was about to stop holding her hand? Oh, no. We were holding that hand until that hand fell off. I wasn't about to let go. What if I let go and she puts her hand away and then I can't hold her hand again? I have to relish in this moment. It's like a fleeting moment. I don't know how long this will last, but it's magical. Hot, but magical. So we're watching the movie. Again, watching the movie. There's always whispers, they're doing their things. I'm just, I'm trying to pretend like I'm zoned in here. I'm watching the movie. It's what I came here to do. You're so pretty. That was very smooth, okay? Of course, none of this showed on the surface. If she was retelling this story, she probably, he was as cool as a cucumber. It's amazing. So anyway, we're going through, and the reason I find all this interesting is because this story is only possible pretty much with my generation, right? like, or like my older brother. Like, really, before that, this story wouldn't have even existed. It would have been like notes, sitting in the movie theater, like writing notes. But it's because we can text each other and everything now. So anyway, sitting there watching the movie. Now we're maybe over halfway through the movie. Not much else has happened. Super sweaty, that has happened, but otherwise we're kind of set in our ways. We're sitting there kind of watching, kind of getting comfortable. We kind of nestled a little bit, like we're, at first it was awkward, but now we're getting a feel for it. And wouldn't you know it, another text. Oh, nobody cares about me, so unless it's my mother. She's really the only one that texts me, or my friend Matt. Probably wants to play some games or something like. And then, of course, like, I look at her when it rings, and she goes, like, look at it. I'm like, I pull it out, and wouldn't you know, written in black font on a white pixelated screen, "Do you want a kiss?" ? And of course, none of it was capitalized. You know how that goes. Probably some weird text lingo from back in the day. But yeah, do you want to kiss? And then my heart, pa-boom, 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 pa-boom. I swear, it's in my throat at this point. Pa-boom, pa-boom. I'm like, I'm looking over. Our hands still clasped. Looking over, and she looks over at me like, well? And I'm like, okay. And at this point, I didn't realize, but all the girls on each side, all their heads turned, because apparently I don't know how, but they played some game of telephone, and everyone but me knew about this until right then. And they're like, oh, they're gonna do it. They're gonna guess. And so they're all watching, and I'm sitting here like, oh geez. And I gotta tell you, first time you go in you're thinking about everything, right? When you haven't done it, like, I would think, like, what if I miss? What if I kiss their nose? Do I close my eyes? Do I keep them open? Do I keep them open, and then as soon as we make contact, close my eyes, or keep them open, but then what if they keep theirs open, and then I'm looking at them, like, right here? But what if, and there's so many questions, right? Lots of things going through your mind. And you know what? Heart's racing. And I know what you're thinking. Why didn't you make the move, Mr. Fruit? Hey, listen, again, we are in awkward times. I had no feel for the field, okay? I didn't know what was happening. This was short notice. I hadn't prepped for this, okay? I hadn't worked in front of a mirror for days for this one. I wasn't prepared for it. It just came about. Like, we're already gonna kiss? I'd never had, like, that was a big step. It seemed all so sudden. And I was like, okay, I was a good little pure boy, okay? This is new to me. I wasn't ready for this. The step into adulthood was not scary. Actually, it was. Made me incredibly anxious. And for anybody out there, don't worry, you're gonna be fine. If you miss the first time, no big deal. Not the point. So anyway, boom, turn to each other. Here's a good idea too. Yeah, well, see, maybe that's too intimate. If you grab, like, gently, not like, oh, but like when they, like, you hold, like, their cheek, like, gently or something, that'll help guide you and guide them. But anyway, we kind of meet in the middle, 50-50. And I turn and I just go, like, just eyes closed, mouth puckered, and I'm like, just hoping I hit the target. And it was like that was it. Probably not even that much, because it was like dry, like, probably just like a little peck. I don't even remember. I don't remember that part that much, but it happened, and then it was like, and then of course, as we do it, you hear, ooh, from literally every single girl down the row, and I do it, and I sit back in my seat. We're still holding hands, trying to act cool, and I'm just like, oh my god, I just kissed a girl. I'm a man. No chest hair yet, but I swear I'm a man. I certainly feel like it. That weird tingling on your lips, like you don't want to lick your lips or anything. Like, it's kind of like a weird feeling at first, but you just think about it. I just sat there also thinking about the Like, I'm gonna have to tell people. So how'd you kiss her? Well, she texted me while she was sitting on top of me in a theater to kiss her. And so I did. Kind of a playmaker, needless to say. So yeah, that was the story of my first kiss. I just thought it was funny and interesting because, like, some of them might be innocent or like, oh, well, we did this and we did that. No, the girl texted me on my lap in a movie theater to kiss her. And so I did. Now, hey, take note, okay? Later in my relationships, I took command. I took charge, okay? It was a good learning lesson, but it was a magical moment. A moment I'll never forget. I feel like nobody forgets their first kiss, whether for good or for bad. I've heard certainly some more horror stories. I feel like mine just kind of like in the weird, awkward, that is very much a teenager's first kiss kind of story. You know? So I thought I'd share that with you all. I don't know if that was interesting or not. But yeah, that was the night I became a man. It was truly magical. I'll never forget it. And I hope you all enjoyed that. So with that said, I'll thank you all very much for watching. Have yourselves a fantastic day. I'll talk to you in the next one. Farewell.